Welcome everybody to a special edition of Sandown Race 3. We're just testing out a new platform for the future of our podcast due to last week's debacle. As always, joined by Matty. How are you, mate?
Good worm, good worm. We haven't got John joining us this week just in case.
We'll hopefully try and get him on Thursday if he can trust our system, but this is why we're doing this for everyone. As I said, we're doing race 3, Sandown. 1,000 metres, benchmark 64, rail out 9 metres. A lot of people say that you can make ground and it's an even track, but I still like to find horses on speed. And 1,000 metre races, I try to find the 1,000 metre horses in 1,000 metre races, try to make it not too difficult. We'll jump straight into the odds. Just get that up. Just double checking it was still recording. So favourite, we have All Stardom, $3.80. Number 10 commands the field, $4. Number 2, Kev's Girl, $4.60. Number 4, Hardware Lane, $6. Number 7, Hydro Star, $9. Number 5, Stravane, $13. Number 3, Unique Band, Beano, $14. Number 9, everyone's favourite at the moment, Isolating, $26. Number 6, Dan Rich Dan, $41. And number 8, the Cruiser, $41. The speed map. After discussing with Matty, and we've come up with a speed map here, we feel Kev's Girl would lead again from 3, won't have to cross him. We'll just get to ping and go straight to the front. Might sit 3 wide, might come across. We think commands the field will kick up with Hardware's Lane being there as well with Damien Lane on board. Our Stratum, All Stratum, sorry, he'll come across and we think he might just get the sit behind Kev's Girl if he or she stays wide. Behind them, Stravane, Isolating, and then right at the back, we reckon Unique Band, Beano, the Cruiser, Dan Reach Dan, and Hydro Star. We're going to do a runner by runner here, so we'll kick things off with number 1, All Stratum. Matty.
All Stratum. So flash time against Kev's Gill last start, where Kev's Gill was out in front. Did just miss. Now, interesting whether this horse will be able to get across and get some cover behind Kev's Gill and Hardware Lane. Definitely has the turn of foot. And where we've got this mapping, we'll sit a lot closer. Thoughts on Will Gordon on board? Obviously, Craig Williams not there.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Not ideal. Not ideal at the 61.5 without any claim.
Oh, he did ride a winner at the highweights during the week. So he's in form.
Good. So, all Stardom. Look, map-wise, if it does get across, get that cover, definitely has claims.
Yeah. What I found the edge with this horse was barrier 1 last start. I feel it should have won. Willow half misses the kick. I reckon it was deliberate to get out into the wider lanes. They just raced 3 or 4 off. When they were straightening, he was just checking off heels for some reason. It was just weird. And I don't think it was up to, the tactics the trainer wanted and what's best for the horse. Normally sits on speed. Best racing's been on speed. I think today it's from barrier 8 with Will Gordon on. I think the tactics will be front-ish. We mentioned the negative jockey change, but he might listen this one. We'll sit closer and definite player in the race. Number 2, Kev's Girl, Matty.
Kev's Girl did lead that race against All Stardom. Definitely mustered up a fair bit of speed, was on benchmark over the first 200. So definitely got going from a wide gate. This time won't have to worry about getting across from the wide gate. Jumping from barrier 2, it'll find it'll probably sit one off the rail. Hardware Lane will most likely have the rail. Times do stack up. What I didn't really enjoy about Kev's Gill last start was its last 100 metres. It almost fell to the line, just missed out, but it will definitely be around the mark again, Kev's Gill.
Yep, I just from the eye, it looked like he was going really fast up front, but reviewing the numbers, and it just looked like to go even. Last 20 metres, the horse just got tired and they just overran it. Perfect ride, always is with Alana Kelly on front runners. Probably gets the same run as last start. Forget the Mooney Valley run against Midwest. They just didn't lead. It sat third or fourth. I think it's best racings when it leads, and it's a definite player with Alana Kelly staying on. Number 3, Unique Bambino.
Unique Bambino from a wide gate will most likely go back. Times don't match up. I'm sure he'll be running on. It will find this extremely challenging.
Tend to agree. Yes, it's coming out of the fire race. Who's going to be look like a nice horse, but it's coming out of picnic and 58 races before that, and it's a plain no from me. Number 4, Hardware Lane.
Drops back from the 1200. Has got Damien Lane on board. From barrier number 2, will probably cross commands the field and get the fence with Kev's Girl on its outside. Uh, Ran listed quality races last September and 6 lengths behind Argentia, who we all know was our pineapple from last week, which we'll forget about. It will definitely need to be respected, and again, does have claims within this.
Okay. Couldn't find any jump outs or trials. Hard to assess it when it's like that. But normally, when this trainer brings his horses down for metro grade, I tend to steer clear. I'll be doing the same with this. Yes, 5 lengths off Extreme Warrior, 5 lengths off Port Louis reads well, but Port Louis still hasn't broken maiden grade. So I will not be entertaining this at all. Number 5, Stravain.
Mate, just apologies for that. Forget that commentary about Hardware Lane. I had the commentary around for Commands the Field on there, so forget that. Still similar in terms of where it'll be mapping, but just in terms of who'd been racing up against, that was incorrect. So forget that, but similar in terms of where I had it, it will still be in contention for mine. But uh, next horse.
Stravain.
Thank you. Stravain, let's make sure that we've got the right commentary on that. So, first up since August, last prep, interestingly, they tried it over 1400, quickly back down to 1200 and 1000 metres, which I think is its preferred distance. This one can run a time over the 1000 metres. Haven't seen it on a good track for a while. So it'll be midfield, mustering for a position. Does it get a little bit too far back from the main group or the leading horses? Will be my big concern with Stravain. But due to the fact it can run a time over 1000 metres, will definitely be in contention.
Yep. Had 2 jump outs at Cranbourne. The most recent was hard to assess in my eyes as it was boxed away. Wasn't really asked to do much. Looking at its prep runs tells me 1200 is his max distance, so 1000 metres might be its go. 11 starts, the 3 wins of 4 placings. My only concern is I'm worried first up they might be a touch negative with the horse, like they do with most of their runners. But at the price, I could entertain. Number 6, Dane Rich Dan.
Don't Rich Dan.
Or Dan Rich Dan.
So it was a solid win at Yarra Valley over 1200, back to 1000 last start. It did get squeezed for a run down the straight, heading for the line. It looked like it almost didn't want to take the gap that was presented to it. I think it'll enjoy being a little bit further out within this field. It should get a reasonable sit behind the main group. Look, it is definitely one at odds, and not one that has set a time across the 1,000 that will potentially need to against some of these uh, horses that will run around benchmark. So probably a pass for me on Dan Rich Dan.
Yeah, it looks to me it wants easier, but when you told me to have a look at this last race, it raced against Island Edition last start. Island Edition went okay. We all know how Island Edition went on Friday night. It still makes me sick. But look, at the odds, he might be worth in the multiples, as you said, Matty, but
Yeah,
it's a
look,
no from me.
if you are playing multiples, first fours, trifectas, I wouldn't be having it as a boxed. You'd be standard out as a third or a fourth place.
I agree. Number 7, Hydro Star.
Hydro Star hasn't seen the distance on a dry track, so quite a few unknowns. You need to take this one on trust, and not willing to do that with Hydro Star. So pass for me.
Ooh, okay. Two jump outs. First one was at Cranbourne over 800. Won it in first gear, I thought. Phil didn't look much. In that was Growl, who looks to be a nice horse. Second jump out was at Mornington over 1,000 metres. Won the jump out under some riding. If it brings the jump out from its first one to its race, I feel it can go okay, and it got me a little bit worried. Won its first start as like a star, but has gone to poo since. I think that's why we're getting a good price now. It's a no from me, but definitely watch the markets if you are entertaining it. Number 8, the Cruiser.
Cruiser will most likely need to drop back from barrier number 9. Um, Look, it'll be running on. Its best run has been over this distance at the track when it ran second to Curran back in Feb 12 months ago. Um, Not much really too competitive across between that run and now. So it's one that I'll be leaving out of my numbers.
Yeah, the old Guava Cruiser. Two starts back coming out of the All Stardom Kev's Girl Race. Don't know how it turns the table. Needs easier. Plain no from me. Number 9, everyone's favourite, Isolating. Matty.
Clearly, the stable see this horse better over the 1,200. 80% of the starts have been over that trip. Second up, this would definitely be a surprise if it's within the finish. So isolating, like everyone would like to avoid. So we'll leave it out of our numbers.
Interesting 5-day backup. I'd normally like these horses on a real quick backup, but benchmark 58 races might be the way to go for this horse. It's a no from me. Number 10, Commanding the Field.
Commands the field. Should I read out the form for Hardware Lane just to even it out?
No, it's all right, mate.
Commands the field. Commands the field. Drops back to 1,200. Um, Solid first up form. The inside gate will definitely help this railing up. As I mentioned previously, has raced in listed quality fields, and it was 6 lengths behind Argentia over the spring. I think from a mapping point of view, this is the horse for mine that gets the best run behind Hardware Lane and Kev's Girl. Doesn't need to do any work. Will get the easiest run to the bend, and then it will depend on when it gets a run. So commands the field for me. Definitely one to respect.
Yeah, $2 last start. In sale, benchmark 64. I thought that was an easier race. Raced awkwardly, tried to lay in behind horses. Jockey did well to give it every chance. Um, I was happy to let this go to the keeper, but when we were doing our pre-production show, I just found form that it beat Midwest start one at 1,000 metres. Next start went $6.50 against Argentia. We know how good that is. Now gets Benny Malum on board, who's very hungry. He's definitely one of the dangers in my eyes, and totally respect. So that's the field. Matty, if you had $50, how are you spending it?
We're going to have two bets on this one. We're going to have $40 on commands the field, as I mentioned previously. I believe it gets the easiest run within this field, doesn't need to do any work early, and then it will need a run. So Benny Mellon will need to do some work within the straight to make sure it does get some clean air. But it's a percentage play within this field for mine. We've got $10 left over. It will be on Stravain. I think it's the horse that is over the odds. I understand what you mean about the Griffiths and the Cock stable first up. They don't necessarily set them, but at $13, $14, I think it's definitely the overs within the field, and um, probably the one that will be running on the best late. So if there is a little too much pace on between the first four, it's the one that I can see running over the top of them.
Yep, totally respect that. My 50, I'm just going to go one bet, $50, all stardom. As I said, total forgive last start. Willow tried to do the right thing, but I think it's cost it the race. Today, outside barrier, can just shoot across, find a nice position, and hopefully William Gordon can get the chocolates for me.
So,
Uh,
well, just with that, obviously we haven't aligned on. We've given three horses in a field of 10. For those who would like to play an exotic, they're the three horses to include. Would you include anything else?
I would include. Let's chuck Dane Rich Dan in. Or Dan Rich Dan.
Perfect. So they're the four that would play within a first four and trifecta.
Beautiful. Thank you everyone for listening, and hopefully, fingers crossed, thank everyone. Or do your prayers, eat your vitamins, and hopefully this works and we can have a normal show Thursday and we don't have a repeat of last week. Thank you, Maddie, for joining.
Thank you.
Hopefully it goes better than your pineapple, and we'll find out more on Thursday about it. Thank you, everyone.